Hey guys, what's up? It's ScherBR talking, and we're back for another video. This time we'll be covering the Obsidian event. This will be a quick guide trying to explain what we have from this event and all the good things and bad things as well. And well, let's just go to the Divine Weapon banner so we can understand some of the characters that got released. As you all know, we got Kokuyu and Transcendental Lizard. Well, Kokuyu is a very good character. Transcendental Lizard is a little late on his arrival. And well, I still think Ethereal Queen is better than him. So we'll have to check these two characters for a quick look. I will do a review on them probably by tomorrow. But let's talk about the two characters here. In the weapon, we have the same mechanic of the jackpot, like the Eventide Valkyrie that we got the banner ended just now. So you still have a chance to get this character if you're summoning, but the drop rates are very bad. Kokuyu has the second alternative art, and you have to get the there's two ways to get it. You either get this Kokuyu jackpot ticket, that is the black ticket. With a black ticket you can get two artifacts, either the original or the alternative version. You can also trade three of the blue tickets for one of the Kokuyu with a different art, the second art, or you can just get 20 of the normal support tickets to get the character. So I don't recommend at all you getting that far to get the character. Maybe if you get lucky with the jackpot ticket, it's enough. Just one of these characters is good because there's a lot of good dark type characters, and using two Kokuyus is not recommended. It's not even important. But maybe people that are a fan of the character may just go for it. I won't blame you, just won't can't say anything about it. I know why this girl is just very popular. I know why it's very popular. Okay, so you understand this. This is why this girl is very popular. I'm not saying I want to summon for this girl because I kind of prefer Eventide Valkyrie, not because I compare the looks of the characters, but because Eventide Valkyrie is more related to Lenneth. I'm a very fan of Lenneth. Instead of Curse, you are either Team Lenneth or either Team Curse. Usually you choose one. I do like all the characters in the game, but I have to choose Lenneth because the original game was my favorite from among a lot of other games, and this is why I always summon characters related to Lenneth. It kind of makes me remind part of that story. This girl is from an alternative reality that one that Arbiter Hearst belongs to, so she's kind of not more related to the canon like Eventide Valkyrie is. This is one of the reasons why I don't really like her better than Eventide Valkyrie. So we're not talking about this, let's just talk about the character itself, and she has very similar status compared to Eventide Valkyrie. You see that it's a little less physical attack, but it doesn't matter because the passives are what matter. And she gets a lot of good things going on for her. She's a new type of character, but also has some other things to make her good. You see that her third attack is called Impact Wave, and it also hits all enemies. She has very strong attacks. The first and the second one launch the enemy, but she's very slow, just like Eventide Valkyrie. You can have some problem with trying to connect these two characters together because they have some pauses between the attacks and may not be that easy to combo. But that's not that much of a trouble if you start to learn the attacks. And then you see that she's just like Eventide Valkyrie. A third year character has the first skill that increases either mag or physical damage and also the elemental damage. But she gets damage dealt by normal attacks. So this girl is a nuke of normal attacks. It's very strange, but also at the same time. And you see that she improves all status of all allies on a certain turn, but it's strange because the P doesn't have the null. Why doesn't it have the null? It should be all because it's a buff to the squad. Then she has more critical hit and damage dealt by critical hit. So this is very good because she will be doing a lot of critical hits with her normal attacks, buffed by all the things that she can do to increase her damage, and she also increases more of the normal of the Purify attack damage. Can only be used twice. But I still think she doesn't cover exactly the action skill damage, but all the other things she covers. It's Dark Purify attack damage and also normal attack damage. And for long fights, you know that normal attack damage is more important now. And talking about the event related stuff, she gets 200 more damage plus and 25 of the Black Feather. This event doesn't have a second part, so Kokuyo in both her weapon get 25 more drops, so this is very nice. And she will get 200% damage. With the weapon it will be 400% damage. Now we have to talk about the Cenital Lizard. He is here, but he shouldn't be. He's not from this event, so he doesn't have a 50 page, he doesn't have any bonus, he's not even from the element that we need to use on this event. So this is very strange to have him, but it's probably one way to make people summon more. Two characters that have very amazing status in the community, they really want to get either one of these characters. So this banner itself has more hate to get a character than Eventide Hakuri banner, because Eventide Hakuri banner only had her and 2 weapons. Now we have 2 characters and 1 weapon. But I still think the characters are more important right now on this stage of the game, because they are releasing way powerful characters compared to other weapons we can get later. Okay, so talking about the banner, you see the Lizard has less chance compared to Kokuyo. Kokuyo has a little more, and the final range is very similar to Eventide Hakuri, but with still the chance to get this Lizard. Then we have the Demise X with 1% chance, which will probably get to 2.5 or 3% chances when you're summoning. So the weapon is very nice when you look at it, but it doesn't matter because most characters won't wield the weapon like this. But you see that it has the Black Feather need to increase the drop. Evil Aura only increases 10% of the dark type of normal attacks, so this is probably even better to use with Kokuyo. And the Dark Spirit is, let me just check here with the Divine Weapon traits. It's just one way to give you an incant skill, and an incant skill it's 1 turn more purify attack damage. It's just the same as we have on Kokuyo. Instead of using Silver Scroll, you can just use this weapon to increase it even further. But is it worth? Well, I don't think it's worth sacrificing such a good weapon for doing this. But Albitora is still better than this weapon because Albitora has a better passive when compared to this one for most of the time, unless I don't know. This weapon was more damaging in Japanese version, it was called the Maximum, but it was nerfed because of the actual state of the game. Maybe they will fix it in later, maybe I don't know. I still think Albitora is better than this one. Okay, so now we finish with this talk. Let's just talk about the event itself. There's 5-star stages just like always, but there's new thing here. You can test Kokuyo like the new character experience quest. You can't test Lizard because he doesn't belong to this event. Was not even coded for this. So then we have this nameless soldier up to the number 5. This will make you finish the story, and then there's challenge 1, 2, and 3. And I must say these are not that hard. This time these challenge stages are not that hard. There's only 2 optional bosses for stage, not 4 like most of the time. You have to defeat this boss here, and then these 2 are optional ones. We got some nice rewards from these bosses. They don't have that many different mechanics. The challenge 1 stage bosses doesn't have anything particular, they just attack normally. But this challenge 2 and 3 ones have different stuff. The challenge 2 bosses can inflict you with some status ailments: poison, curse, blind. These are the buffs that he can inflict on you. Both of the 2 elements, they work the same, just have different weakness. The boss, that's the central one, the sorceress, also on challenge 1 and 2, he's weak to both elements, dark and lightning, but not strong to any other element. Different from the demons, they are only weak to these elements. But there's challenge 3, and then he starts, becomes this boss, the Undead, and he's strong to everything unless dark and lightning. Same for these 2 other ones, but on challenge 3 they start by using a buff, so they become stronger, and it's recommended that you may bring claws because these bosses here only inflict single targets. Most of the time, on the challenge 3 they gain AoE damage attack, but it's very hard, they rarely use them. You can bring characters just like Klaus or even Arngrim or Obedic or either tank that you have. It's recommended for this stage, especially Klaus, okay, because Klaus can also heal from poison. So these are for the stages. The challenge EX stage I won't be doing now. I will be doing this probably by tomorrow or in 2 days from now. I think I can defeat it because I have now more power to defeat this type of bosses, even if I don't have the reconned characters. Then I just want to tell some more here. If you want to farm this event, you can choose to farm the challenge too, because the experience between the two stages are very similar. The drop rate is a little better on challenge 3. The two stages have the same AP consumption, so the 3 is better, but if you don't have the power, the challenge 2 is still okay. I still recommend challenge 3 this time because the bosses are not so strong. Different from Ethereal Queen Part 2 event, she has a very strong boss on the last stage, the farmable stage, at least for the second part. And then we click on here on the exchange book so we can understand what we can get from this event. Like I said, there's only one part of this event, and there's good things here. Yggdrasil branch. This word here is called high voltage, and it must be a weapon to be used with characters from the lightning element. We don't have that many here. We have Ace, we have Leon. Leon is better used with that Graciato, but if the content doesn't need you to use healing, this could be useful. But I still think we'll be getting more of the lightning type weapons, and this one is just 1.6k attack, won't get much stronger, and it's just very heavy damage. Just for comparison, the next train weapon can still do more damage than a fully upgraded very heavy weapon. So don't mind about it if you don't really need it. Please skip this gold scroll unless you really liked farming or don't mind it. The game just has a lot of things to farm, and these items are just too costly. They should change the values of the things. This is the most of the reason why people feel burnout when playing the game and farming for stuff. So gold scroll, silver scroll, bonus scroll can be skipped. And then we have these items for you to limit break the 5-star weapons from the event. There's only 2, just like the external bosses. It's only one from the lightning element, another one from the dark element. I don't think it's worth to upgrade them. Then we have this Orb of Standing Tough. I don't know the skill, but just get it because our orbs are good. All orbs are good, just remember this. Awakening Ember is very nice, so you can skip Awakening Pearl and Divine Weapons Gold. Get the Memory Book 5, also get the Valkyrie Memory Books, and just get the Mark 3 of the weapon you're trying to upgrade. Don't try to upgrade everything at the same time. Like I said, this is one of the things that makes people get burnout, because it's just way too much things, very costly. You have to run the only one stage for like 4 or 5 or 6 times depending on the drop that you get for a single item of this. Just don't try to push yourself too much. And then we have these items here. The marks are the less important thing. These ones are even better, but the costs are the same. They can be used as material to upgrade when you fail to get enough skill up glasses, because it's very hard. Just check here, you can only get 1 of this, 2 of this, and 3 of this. For Mark 3, comparing to Mark 2, you have way many, 3 times many. Some events have even like 7 times many. But just get these ones here. Get the skill of glass, the shard, and the skill of war. You can skip all other things. They are not that important, even the marks and the FS and cancel. Okay, so I think I finished with this. I don't think there's another thing to talk about this. I will be doing the Obsidian event challenge EX in the future. Please, if you have some difficulty or you want some help in other thing, please say here on the comments. I will be posting all the stages I beaten and how I did on the description as well. And that's it. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching this video to the end, and we see each other on the next video. Bye.